This one's about a time I almost killed Vin.
I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
This is Harakiri.
You sure didn't want me to pronounce it?
Harakiri for the sky. You are the stars.
Yep, this is for the Epic Underground.
EU.
Yeah, this is our alliance groups.
Led by the big homie Drew. Harmful, full of fuel.
If you're like, what is this alliances you speak of? On Patreon, you join in for $1. And you send me a message, and I will message you back the link to Discord, and everybody hangs out on Discord. They group it together, and they work as groups to influence our song list. And so that's how this song landed, and that's why we're doing it tonight.
Yes.
So if you're interested, if you're like, you know what, I have some great song selections, and I want to work with a team, and I want to talk to other people and engage, then that's the way to do that. If you're like, you know what, I don't like engaging with other people and I don't want to do that, but I would like to get a song reacted to. I want to influence that list. The way to do that is you jump on Patreon. That's $125 for your first time. Or you can go through PayPal. It's a little bit faster. But you don't get the little extra perks like seeing the first 15 seconds of our song that we're doing together.
Well, I mean, if you did that on PayPal and you wanted the link, we'd give you the first.
We would give you the link. It's just, it's not as easy for you to access all the other stuff. That's just one of the things available to you on Patreon. There are other things available.
They are?
So, anyway, after you do it with 3 times with us, on your 4th time and beyond, it's $75 per song instead of $125. You can dedicate the songs to people. It can be birthday songs, whatever. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that we won't do is insult somebody for you. But Vin said he'll break up with somebody for you on it, so.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you're not feeling shorty anymore.
And you don't know how to do it. That's really terrible, and I don't condone that.
I used to listen to K-Rock, and they used to have these things like where you break up with people.
I know, that's where you got it
like
from.
they'd break up on their anniversary, or they'd break up on, what do you call it? It was a very horrible situation, but I was riveted. It makes for very good TV, so let me know. I can call your girl for you, and we'll break up with them on camera.
Oh my gosh!
I'm a servant. I'm here to help. Some people call me a terrorist.
I consider myself a teacher.
I consider myself a teacher. With that being said, ladies and gents,
let's start this review.
Also, DL Beluga of Middle America fame has opened,
also our son,
with his capitalist self, has opened up a shop on Amazon. So if you want shoes or you need some of this, there's going to be some clothes coming pretty soon. Check him out. We'll put the link.
Yeah,
the link's going to be the first link in the description.
Yeah, just check it out.
You are the scars. Let's go.
Here we go. Oh, maybe I should put this then. Why does this always happen to me?
Is that the devil? Whoa. paint on.
Wow.
Whoa. That's kind of like the black metal version of the song that we listened to before.
I know, I'm like, there's some similarities here. This right here, when all the black drips were happening at like 8:46, that just reminded me of the floor at the gym or in the sauna. But because you're such a sweating, you like sweat so much, they're like...
I don't feel like I sweat more than the average person. I just work differently at the gym.
No, even when you're just sitting in the sauna, you're sweating more than other people, it looks like.
Well, that's because when I come out...
No, even when we first get in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. I think that's just because you're looking at me more than other people, and you need to continue to do it that way.
I
will. Someone I loved once gave me a box full of darkness. That's a...
I know.
I keep telling people, man, that opening line.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
very important. That it really just very important line. Someone I love once gave me a box full of darkness.
It took me years to understand that this too was a gift. It took me years to realize you tore my heart through.
You tore my heart through Fordable Myers.
Oh, it should have been tore.
These guys are Austrian.
Yeah.
So it's not their first language. It always amazes.
Made for shallow waters.
It always amazes me how these guys from these other countries, or English is not their
can write language. Something that
can outright.
Yeah, who does that? Who writes art in another language?
5% of the top 5% of the American whatever, but it's unbelievable.
So when you read that, babe,
yeah.
But I wasn't made for shallow waters. My heart is an ocean.
Yeah.
What did you think about in this first verse?
Well, there was that Bible verse that you liked a lot. That you used to talk about all the time. I forgot what it was though. Like the soul of a man is like deep waters or something, and the wisdom of the wise seeks it out or something like that.
The king one?
No, that's another one. But it's
the heart of a man is deep waters.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you thinking about?
So you thought of the Bible?
Yeah. What did you think of?
Well, I just thought of different, obviously, relationships and how there are times where someone brings like darkness to you, and I don't think it's healthy to stay in dark relationships that are staying dark and not going anywhere, obviously. But at the same time, like I think that sometimes you can go through like a bit of darkness and it can actually you can let stuff work for you.
Well, the other thing
That's what I was thinking of.
The other thing I was thinking about is that, anytime people in a relationship, you're coming to each other with your imperfections. Obviously there's that thing that attracted you to the person or whatever, personality-wise. But and I think this is almost a universal agreement that everybody believes that the true test of love is whether you can love the person in their dark moments. If you're not a fair weather, friend. I mean, not even necessarily like relationship, but also like even friendships. Can you love your friend? And, but it's a different degree though, because he's calling it a gift. And I do think that's a gift to like kind of take your mask off and show like, boom, this is who I actually am. And for a person to accept that as an honor and be like, whoa, like, like there was one time we were in a mall. I'm not allowed to tell a story.
Go ahead, we already told it once.
We're at the mall and there was a miscommunication thingamajig. And it was one of those situations where I was not paying attention. Like, when I say not paying attention, like I was listening to what you were saying, but I wasn't like getting the body language and the moment and what was going on.
No, I literally don't know how you could miss that.
And so something happened. You went off without me. You went off in a huff. I was completely confused. But then there was this, I like to see salt. I like my hands very soft. My hands get dry and all that. I like them very soft and I like them moist. So there was this Israeli girl selling this moisturizer, whatever. And so she was like, is your girl going to be mad because you're talking to me? And I was like, no, of course, what? No, of course not. And I knew she was Israeli.
So the miscommunication, are you trying not to go into too many details?
Well, I mean, it's
we already told the story, so I don't mind telling it again.
So
we went to the mall, and this was after I had Orion. That was our last baby. And
that was not our last baby.
I meant last as the one before our last. Like, yeah. I'm saying now we have a baby, but it's our last one. But okay, it was the one before the baby we just had. So anyway, we're going to the mall because I need to get clothes because I have gained weight and I need to get some clothes. So when we get to the mall, I'm totally frustrated about the weight gain. And at the time I didn't realize I was vitamin D deficient, which if you are, it makes it's very difficult to lose and you gain a lot. Anyway, so I was so frustrated and so stressed out. The shopping experience was not fun for me. And I had been telling him for quite a while, like,
but I
hey,
appreciate the
I really want to go shopping with you, and I want you to help me pick out some stuff that'll look trendy and cool and whatever. And so I was looking forward to the shopping trip with him, and it took a while for us to like get to the mall. And then when we got there, you stopped at the Apple store, and you kept talking to the guy at the Apple store and talking about cars and how he's going to sell cars and all this different stuff. And time was going. I've actually gotten a lot better with communicating more because I kept thinking, well, how long are we going to have here?
Yeah.
I should have said something way sooner, but eventually I just got really upset about it and I was super offended, and there was like 30 minutes left till the mall closed. And so I said, well, I'm going to go shopping, and I took off. And so he messaged me, he's like, oh, where are you at? And I told him, I'm like, right across. So he came over, and I'm trying to find my sizes and all this. And I'm not the same size as I was, so I'm like, I was just really, really, really frustrated. And he's on his phone. And I still get like that, like, put your freaking phone down because you work so much from your phone. And so I was frustrated because I thought we were going to be shopping together, and he had his phone. And so I went and I tried on the first batch of stuff, and like everything looked like complete garbage. Like, it was so frustrating.
Nothing looks like garbage on Sori.
Well, in my opinion, it looked like complete garbage. And then I came out, and he was still on his phone, and then he said, I was looking for the sizes, and I said, it'd be nice if you helped me find my sizes, even though I didn't want him to know what my size was, even though it didn't matter to him if he knew the number. So, but I said that, he didn't do anything, he just kept going on his phone. Then he says, do you realize what time it is? That's when I blew up. because I already realized we didn't have enough time. I already realized I didn't have enough time to do this, but it wasn't my fault and I was super angry about it. And when he said, do you realize what time it was? I thought he was telling me, I don't feel like doing this with you right now, so I need you to hurry up. And I already felt super rushed and super frustrated. So I was like, okay, you know what? We're not doing this right now.
You know, like your family, shout out to your family, but they're very big on subliminals. Like,
yeah, I'm going to give you a subliminal, you catch a subliminal, and that's how we work.
You're supposed to read between these very strange lines that they have. And I just was not raised that way at all. Like, you said what you mean what you said, whatever. So I literally just meant, do you know what time it is? So, you know, we've got a limited time here for you to shop.
And I'm thinking,
because you were
if you
like,
realize how limited the time is, why aren't you putting your phone down and helping me find
I was also helping you. I said, well, what about those? But then when I pointed out the pants, there was another set of pants, and then you were trying to get me to say which one was best. Anything that you wear looks amazing when you wear it. So I didn't have a preference because I knew you were gonna, whatever. And on top of that, you hadn't gone in the dressing room. Anyway, I made the comment about the time. You didn't blow up then. She just got up and left. So
well, in my mind,
she skated out of the
No,
store.
I'm pretty sure I said, you know what? We're not doing this right now.
But that wasn't.
No, that wasn't the blow up.
Well, when the audience, they can tell us what the blow up was.
Yeah, that wasn't the blow up.
So anyway, so she goes out. I follow her out. Well, I see this Israeli.
I'm walking and I'm super, super hurt and offended that he was not helping
She's
me.
got the power walk, the pantsuit walk.
I was so mad.
It's very, very beautiful. So she's walking, and I see the Israeli thing with the salt and all the moisturizer and all that.
The girl starts offering
extremely excited
to show us some of her product. And I was thinking we were already rushing, so why are we're not going to stop, we're going to keep going since we are so concerned about the time.
I wasn't rushing Shorty. I was not rushing her. I was just letting her know what time it was so that she could get into these pants or whatnot. So Sori just goes off. And I'm like, okay, but I want my hand moisturized.
I had to use the bathroom. So I went to use the bathroom and I assumed he would be behind me when I got back out.
Yeah, I don't know why you assumed that. Like, that's not my pattern.
He wasn't there. That's because I was like, there's no more obvious that I can make it that I was not happy about the situation. So I turned back and I'm like, if he is I made a decision in my mind. I said, if he is still with that woman, that's it. I'm just gonna let it fly because.
So I'm talking to Shorty. She's doing her little spiel thing with my jiggy, and
he's sitting there with this thing.
And I'm like, and small world, but I'm almost 95% certain that I actually worked with her brother on something. So she was like, how do you know? Blah 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 blah. And I was like, well, she's like, oh, my brother. I was like, oh no shit, small world, blah blah blah. So of course, Sori's delusional. She thinks every girl on the planet's attracted to me. I can almost guarantee you, she had no attraction to me whatsoever. So anyway, we're talking, and she's like, she's like, I don't know, like, is your girl gonna be okay? I'm like, oh man, she's good. Don't worry about it. She's like, I don't know. She's walking back. She looks kind of upset. I'm like, man, she's good, bro. Let me get this da-da-da-da-da. And you showed up, and then, what did you say?
Honestly, I don't remember.
She goes, are you serious? She says. She went completely nuclear. So I'm like observing this shit like it's on TV. But it wasn't on TV. It was like literally right in front of me. She's going off.
He didn't look the least bit embarrassed, concerned, nothing.
Oh, no.
Matter of fact, there was like a slight little glimmer of entertainment in his eyeballs.
I'm not gonna say I was entertained. I was just like, exfoliating or whatever. And Shorty's like going off. Israeli girl backs up a little bit.
I don't remember what I said. I do think that I basically said, you didn't have time to spend with me. We had to rush out because we didn't have the time.
Right.
But now you have the time to sit and talk with her.
This broad, yeah,
and I'm pretty sure I said her.
Yeah.
And pointed right at her.
Yeah.
And honest to goodness, I think that if she would have said or done anything other than silently back away like a mouse, I seriously think that I would have done something that got me in jail.
Yeah, she didn't want the action. She didn't want the action. Shout out to
I was contemplating breaking a window. Like I was so frustrated in that
there's a lot of you were really
No, it wasn't breaking a window, but I had some other destructive thoughts.
I was watching the whole shit transpire right in front of me. I was like, whoa, this shit is crazy. And I was like, oh, this girl, like she did, she's like, oh.
She read the situation properly.
So then sorry, I read it.
You're just making his soft hands.
I read it completely properly because I was gonna get my exfoliation on. So
and obviously, prior to this, I've never heard him say anything about him wanting these soft hands, blah blah blah. And so
that's such a lie. Why do I tell you to make your soap bars? What do I use the soap bars for?
Okay, I didn't know it had anything to do with softness, just moisturizing. So why do you need to stop and get her Dead Sea, blah blah blah? Yeah. Literally, I was so frustrated and so angry when that happened because I felt like, oh my gosh. And I did not think you literally wanted the product.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I bought it.
I just thought this girl batted her eyelashes and he bought all this stuff from her.
Yeah. Nah, actually.
When I was hurt and angry and mad.
Actually, she gave it to me half off.
Which she gave him a discount.
Yeah, she gave me a discount because she felt bad for me. I didn't feel bad at all. I got to the car and you were like.
Well, you said you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I said you shouldn't have done that.
But he was laughing, and I was like, I basically said, I don't care.
I was like, you acting a little bit reckless, shorty. You gotta calm down, bro. You gotta control yourself.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
She was like, no.
And I wasn't gonna feel that. Normally, I feel embarrassed about stuff. That was literally
everything embarrasses you.
Well, you should feel embarrassed blowing up in the mall like that.
I didn't feel
publicly.
Embarrassed.
You didn't feel bad. I'd feel so embarrassed if you did something like that to me. I would be like, you can never do that again the rest of your life.
I would never do something.
Seriously, you could never do that.
Yeah, but
it's humiliating.
Of course it would. Everything is humiliating to you.
Not this guy. It's a glimmer of excitement.
Well, I mean, it was kind of exciting. It was kind of surreal.
Why was it exciting?
Well, it was fun. I was like, I wonder how far Shorty's going to take this situation. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I wonder. And then I was like, looking at the girl, and you had a good 2 inches on her. Your reach was decent, and you're literally the strongest female I've ever met in my entire life. So you would have put her, you would have mixed her, and you got a lot of latent anger. So I was like, this is but the Israeli, she was already very, she was already worried. But she picked up on stuff about you a lot quicker than I did because I didn't.
The whole mall picked up on it. It was extremely obvious.
I didn't think that you were going to go in that direction. I didn't think it was going to go left like that. So
I didn't think it was going to go left like that either.
She knew
that was the thing.
Maybe she's just as crazy as you were. But anyway, the point is, it was an honorable moment for me because it's like, okay, here's Shorty giving you the raw. This is who she is. And your background is a lot of, and again, shout out to your family, but there's a lot of a lot of things are about appearances and things like that.
Absolutely.
You never have a jihad like that in the mall,
no.
Things like that. So it was an honorable moment to me. I was like, okay, this is raw. This is how she feels, and yep, we're in a public situation, but she's gonna let it out, and she's gonna know. It's like okay. And I'm like, whenever I see this girl again, who cares how she feels about it? I didn't really care how she felt about it. I did care when she gave me the bonus. I mean, the little thingamajiggy, and then she threw something in there for good measure, a little nail file thingamajiggy, and I was keeping up with that. So, shout out to the homie, shout out to the, whatever. But
and shout out to me for getting the discount.
Yeah.
No, seriously, all my life, I've never. First of all, I didn't even know I was like that, so that was a little surprising to me as well. But at the same time, you were I don't respect a lot of people. We're Christians, and I believe that people have value because they're made in the image and likeness of God. But as far as respecting somebody, and I respect that person, what they have to say, what they think about a topic, I don't respect a lot of people. And that, call that a flaw of mine, but it's a flaw that I have. You are one of the rare people that I respect. And people always graded on people that I respected you and looked up to you. But you were a very sensible person, and the stuff that you said made sense, and you didn't talk about something you didn't know about, and I like that. So you were always somebody that I respected, and I cared about your opinion about me, and sometimes, even to this day, literally, 4 days ago, I was embarrassed still that you've seen the raw me I'm like, wow, I cannot believe. I actually liked when I lived in the delusion of me being this perfect person and you living in the delusion of who you thought that I was. Like, I know that you knew that I was a sinful person, but at the same time, you never saw me act out like that. Like, it's very childish. Reacting like that in the mall. Ew! And pointing at her.
I don't think it's childish. I mean, I think it's, you know, I mean, you see it a lot in rap videos.
What?
You know, the girl going crazy about the guy in public, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I was thinking
Well,
to
that
myself,
doesn't
like,
help.
I've done this, like, on, girls just have this thing where they go after me in public. It's happened almost, it happened a lot in high school.
Yeah, I think that there's just
That's all
something
I'm
about the way that your energy goes that it just...
But the thing that is fascinating to me is, like, if I was a person outside looking in, I'm like, that girl was freaking out over that guy, what the hell? But, you know, when you're inside of it, you're just caught up in the moment, but you're not really looking at it from that angle. But, you know, so you gave me your box full of darkness, and I think it, you know, on the one hand, it's like, it kind of sucks because all the pretending you've done for, I don't know, maybe the last decade is now you're like,
Not decade, all my life. Remember when you first met me?
reload!
I'd be like,
left
"Whoa,
hand, right hand.
That's annoying. And you'd be like,
Yeah.
what do you mean it's annoying? Like, I would never say, that made me really angry.
She'd be mad as hell. She'd be like, oh, that's so annoying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really annoying. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most beautiful things about relationships, you know, and, you know, it's end of Genesis 2, the man and women were naked and they were not ashamed. And I think, you know, that's saying something a lot more than just, you know, the physical side of it. It's being able to, you know, hand that person the box of darkness and see if they'll accept it and see it as a gift for what it is, because you don't really get that level of you know, there's this big thing about authenticity, you know, which I think is a reaction to postmodernism. That's a different discussion, but like, there's a big thing about authenticity. So like, everybody's like trying to be their authentic self to everybody, and I just think that that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a very big believer in there are segments of yourself that you need to purposely keep from people. Like, people are not owed, and people are not worthy of all of yourself all of the time. So being with you is like, you know, being able to like have a space where you can be your complete and total, you know, authentic self. Like, I don't think that that's appropriate for everyone. Like,
Oh, no, I totally agree.
like, it's
They
insane.
were for me.
Well, yeah. So that comes with but there's beautiful things about you that other people don't know either. And there's thought patterns you have that are amazing that other people don't know about, and there's, you know, so there's a lot of beauty in it, and then the dark parts of it kind of like, I was just looking at it like, okay, like, I felt like the real reason I was just watching you and the whole thing was, it was kind of like an out of body experience, because I was like, we have crossed a line here for the better, because communication's a big thing for me, right? And I'm like, there's no way you can like go back to, you know, being all subliminal and stuff after you've done something like that. And so it's not like completely eliminated, but I definitely saw a difference in our relationship actually after that moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You were a lot more explicit. Like I said, it didn't, like, all the subliminals didn't go away, but you were a lot more explicit. And some of it just has to do with being a woman. Like, it's just a woman thing. Like, you're supposed to know, you're supposed to read my mind. And, you know, I've always been like, I am not doing that, I'm not playing that game. Even if I did read your mind, I'm not going to act on it unless you communicate it to me. I've always been like, that's been a very big source of conflict for us. Mm-hmm. And so when you did that, I was like, okay, I don't need to read her mind, I know exactly what's going on. She's angry at me. Okay, good.
How was the car drive home? Did we fight for longer after that, or did it kind of dissipate, or
Well,
what happened?
I just said, I said we should, well, first of all, I was like, there's a 50-50 chance that I'm going to take an Uber home today. Because you were gone. You left, and I was still buying all my stuff. So I still had to get my creams and stuff.
And I'd walk out into traffic before I'd leave you there.
So I was yeah, maybe Shorty could give me a ride home. So, like,
that's if I ever got to that point where I drove off with the vehicle, you should never have Shorty give you a ride home. That would be like a really bad decision.
I'd bring her in for some. I'd just make sure that it's kosher. Get it? Kosher Israeli. Yeah. No, I don't think we had a fight on the ride home. It was you know. I
was ready to fight. I thought we were gonna fight because I thought you were gonna I didn't. There's a lot of times I care about your opinion, but I really didn't care about your opinion on that situation because I knew you were gonna think I shouldn't have done that. I mean, that was obvious. But you were like, you shouldn't have done that. But it wasn't like.
Nah, I was fine.
I didn't. You were smiling like that.
And then you started crying. And I just stopped talking after that.
And then what happened? Like, did we not talk for days, or was it good that night? Or?
No, we were good. I was fine that night. Yeah, we were good. It was a good time. But anyway, that's what the song's about. And obviously, she broke up with him, so he's upset. But
when he said, "I'm the morning, you are the scars."
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool sounding part.
Yeah, I thought that was horrible.
Well, what's actually happening, yeah. But it sounded pretty.
Not that he cut himself or anything like that. Like, I didn't think that was horrible, although I don't recommend it. It's just...
Oh, that's not even how I took that.
Him saying, you are the scars, which is basically, you're the reason I did this to myself.
Okay, I didn't think of literal scars, but
yeah. Well, I mean, from my background, obviously. Yeah. So that's how I looked at it. I looked at it like he was saying, you're the reason I have these. And it very may well be, but that's a lot to put on a person. And you know how I am about relationships and people putting impossible standards on people that they, it's one of those, things. But it was a very, brilliant and a deep way of talking about the pain of a breakup. Sometimes I listen to these songs, man, and I'm like, man, why do people even get in relationships in the first place? Holy moly. And it's funny because after Jesus was done preaching on marriage, his disciples were like, why should anybody get married then? And Jesus is like, you got a point. It's like, holy moly. Relationships are so difficult, but they're so rewarding. And I think the human race cannot give up on the concept. It's just, in the business world, you're always talking about risk reward, right? Like, the rewards are just worth the risk, man. They just are.
Yeah, I mean, I hear people say it all the time. Well, not tons of people, but I've heard lots of women say it. I've thought it myself sometimes.
What?
When you're in the middle of a fight, and then you think to yourself, I should never put myself in a situation in which I was married and have to have a relationship with somebody else. Like, it's just too much. Mm-hmm. And then you think, I would never do this again. I would never do this again.
Yeah.
But then people do. Because then there's the really good times, and the really good times, then you think to yourself, wow, I just can't imagine. This is just so unbelievable, So, yeah, I mean.
What do you give the song?
A 9.
This one is more something in my vein than the previous one that we listened to before. So this is a 9.3.
I knew this one was going to be higher for you. The one before was Motionless in White, Another Life.
Yeah, and it's black metal. These guys, they were the music, the trem picking, the blast
the
beats,
length of the song.
So
you know me, I want to come in us.
That's my wheelhouse.
And leave.
Yeah, in and out. Don't run into your death. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.
What?
Gone.
Gone.